All right, ladies and gents, welcome. Apologies for the later start today. Hope we're all doing well, guys. Welcome to another edition of London Session, where we're possibly looking at some potential gold buys shortly. So guys, without further ado, it is time to get this show on the road. So as always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. So I mentioned, welcome to another edition of London Session. Once again, looking forward to seeing what we can come up with moving forward on this shortened edition of London Session here today. Obviously starting late, but let's get into it, guys. Just quickly, if you could, don't forget, please hit that like button, YouTube, TikTok, smash that little screen for me. Let's get the masses onto the stream if we could, please. And also, guys, any charts, any questions, anything you'd like me to go over, please feel free to pop that into the chat and I'll get to you guys shortly. However, important thing is to quickly look at gold. There be possible sells as well here, guys. Gold at a very interesting level. So what I'm seeing is, just quickly, well, just to cut through the chase, so I'll get to the top down shortly, but let's just cut to the chase of what I'm seeing. We've obviously just formed support recently within the current daily candle, which does have a high low high high to the previous daily candle. So we've just recently formed support at the current level. As we can see, we don't really have much of a low wick. We are at a level of resistance, so therefore I am considering both the buy and sell options. What I'm saying is, if we were to pop below this support just now, guys, I would be definitely considering a sell to take it back down towards the current daily candles low and retest the low of the Asian session. That point there, that obviously is going to be creating more of a low wick on the daily, potentially anyway. And off the back of that, I would be happy to look for my potential sell. So just quickly, straight off the bat, if this candle flips in the next 2 minutes and 52 seconds to be exact, and closes below this minor support here, retest begins to pull away, what we're doing is we're confirming a structure flip here in the M15 as well, after creating a lower high, confirming that lower low, finally closing below this wick. I think we've actually confirmed that already by the looks of it. Just technically we have closed below it, so technically you can argue the 15-minute structure is actually in fact bearish. So that would be the sell option. Now we've obviously formed minor resistance at currently at that 41 38 sort of region as well. So if we were to pull back and reject that level, we could possibly look for some further sells. However, guys, to the upside, in just over 2 minutes time, if this candle ends up closing quite a strong bullish candle, engulfing that previous bearish candle's high, and once again what we've done is pull back to a level of support previously formed within the current daily candle, only to respect that level. So if we were to close strong up near our high, then I will look to take a buy as price begins to break the high of what will be the catalyst candle, to take it back up towards the most recent resistance back at that 41.38 region. So what we're going to do just now is we're going to use the fib, guys. We're going to mark in from the opposite way around, sorry, from top to bottom, bottom to top. Doesn't really make that much of a difference, to be honest. What we want to see is what I would consider to be a strong enough closure. I'd really want it to be up around that 0.786. We will be engulfing at the 0.618, but if you look at it, we're leaving a long upper wick. My issue with that is, let's just say we're close to the 0.618. We'd have a fair distance to travel just to be triggered into the trade. Normally by that point, around that 20 pips once you count for spread, I normally would have been at break even. Normally consider securing some profit. Considering the margin to the upside isn't all that wide, we're looking at some 35 plus pips by the looks of it. About 40. So I really want to close above the 0.786. And I would be very comfortable if that is to be the case in the next 45 seconds, that it's a strong enough closure. If not, what we're going to likely be doing is just waiting to see what eventuates at London Open on the following 15-minute candle and see if there is an opportunity based off the back of that. So I am considering both the buys and the sell options, guys, from the current level. Need to wait for the catalyst. Just again, just cut through the chase. So let's just watch and see how this candle closes. We've got 20 seconds remaining, guys, so it looks like there's not going to be an entry just yet. If that is to be the case, I will do the proper top-down analysis and then move on to some other pairs. I've literally just turned on the charts, guys. I've had a pretty hectic day myself. Just got in, so 5 seconds left. All right, we are engulfing. Let's see how this candle performs. If it pops up and approaches the high, only to then pop down to create a low wick. Got a tiny low wick, but I'm going to discount that. So I don't want it to really flip and create much of a low wick now. What I want to see is price pop up, approach the high of that previous candle, then begin to drop, create a low wick, and then at that point I may consider it, forget about it, it's dropping straight down. So all right, let's move on. Not bad at the minute. We will reassess closer to the closure of this M15 candle. In the meantime, let's do some quick top down on the gold, guys. Starting at the weekly time frame, what we can see is the current weekly candle obviously is forming a very strong bullish candle, well and truly engulfing that previous candle, and no lower wick. And you guys, by now, those who follow me on the regular should know how I feel about that. We don't necessarily need to pull the way back to create that lower wick. As long as any level previously created on the way up, price pulls back to it, we anticipate at some point buyers to step back in, and that becomes our potential entry point. So long as that happens, then if that's to be the case, then there is no need for us to necessarily come back down to create that lower wick. Onto the daily time frame, obviously what we can see is we are at some resistance, a strong resistance here on the daily. On the 4 hour, we do not have much of a lower wick, so it is a potential level that price could in fact reject. Doesn't mean it's going to necessarily, you know, flip back into a downtrend, but what it could do is pull back to obviously create that higher low sort of scenario here, create that swing point, maybe even retesting that resistance to the left, and then forming support to head back up and continue in line with the actual trend itself, which is very bullish. The structure is still bullish the way I see it here on the daily, but as a scalper, I'm more concerned by the actual candle formations and the level we're at. 4 hour, we have also confirmed a structure flip by the looks of things. Well, not quite, guys. We're close to it, almost did, but not quite. So the 4 hour, we're obviously rejecting the higher time frame resistance here to the left hand side. We have tapped in only to reject, so we know we are definitely at a key level. So as always mentioned to you guys, irrespective of bias, irrespective of structure, always ask yourself, where are we on the charts? And if we are at a key level of resistance, doesn't necessarily make all that much sense to look for a buy into it unless it's upon a pullback. Once we go down to the 15-minute time frame, we can see we've actually pulled back to a level where we could perhaps look for a potential buy option. So I would consider, yet again, as I mentioned, I would consider the potential buys from the current support. If in fact this candle does close back as is, then what I'll be needing to wait for is another 15-minute candle close and London open. And if price was to close, for instance, somewhat like so on the following M15 candle, then I would also look for potential buy options moving forward into the London session. However, as I mentioned before as well, there's a potential sell option if this candle in fact engulfs that bullish candle, engulfs this support, closes below the lowest point of any bullish candle at the current level. Now I do believe there is a high probability at that point there that we could in fact come back down towards the current daily candle's low and potentially obviously retest the Asian session low. So would be considering both the buy and sell options from the current level. We just need to await a catalyst. Very simple plan, guys, to follow. I just need to await a price action catalyst prior to any entry. That is my opinion of the gold. Make of that what you will. In the meantime, guys, let me say g'day. Let me first of all send a link to my team. If anyone wants to join. Talking about my members, not you guys. Some of you are in the YouTube and TikTok chat. But something big to announce to you guys as well. My team. And anyone who has Forextester online. That's a massive zone. So we're just going to need it up for the time being. We'll focus on the most recent price action. We do know we have tapped into 4-hour resistance. So we'll just focus on that as the 4-hour level, knowing that we do have some more resistance to the left hand side here, which is obviously the key level on the 4-hour and daily time frame. Strong rejection just now on gold. I need to wait just over 10 minutes for a confirmation if we do in fact close below the support here. In the meantime, let me say g'day. Who we got in the chat today? Trade Delicious, hope you're well. Bartman, yep, appreciate it. Carl, morning to you. ManVQ, g'day to you. Was thinking G longs, but then I saw current M30. GU. That's the chart from yesterday. Wow, still respecting that support from yesterday. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, the momentum is to the downside though at the minute. Structure is also bearish here on the minor time frame. Yeah, but similar to gold, I can see what you mean. But what I'd be waiting for is the exact same sort of scenario as gold. So if this counter closed bearish, if I was to look for a buy, I'd want to see perhaps the following counter closing strong, bullish engulfing, and that would be my trigger to look for a potential buy. Otherwise, I do believe there could be some sell options by the looks of it. So what I do like about the sell options, we have triggered in buyers. If price was to close below that point there, I do believe we're trapping those buyers. There's a higher probability that we could continue, in fact, to the downside, down towards potentially 131 flat or just below that region. Sebastian, good day to you. Hope you're well. Tommy, Franco, all my team, welcome to you guys. Just quickly, TikTok, how are you, mate?
Yes, thanks. You?
Been a busy one, but I've done everything I need to do and more, so I was pretty happy.
Okay. Appreciate it.
All good, mate. All good. Brandon, then the Lord. Happy Remembrance Day, by the way. It's also bank holidays across Europe, obviously US as well, for Veterans Day. So pretty much the same thing as here, although it's not considered a public holiday here. Did pause at 11 AM for a minute as just to show a mark, just as a mark out of respect for the veterans who fought in the wars to defend this once great country. I'm not sure if it's that great anymore, but anyway, it's a topic for discussion another point in time. In the meantime, who else? TikTok, how are we going, team? Ball Prit, you're in longs from 41, 33, 2. Okay. Hope you have a management plan as far as how you're going to go about managing and where you're cutting the trade if it goes against you. Brandon, how's the bank holiday affect the markets? To be honest, I'm more concerned by the Euro holiday because the current session that we're trading is the London session. Obviously, it's not technically open just yet. The Euro would normally, the Frankfurt markets would normally be open, the Euro markets, but obviously it's a public holiday also in the Eurozone. So more concerned by the lack of liquidity coming out of what's the sessions that are supposed to be in session just now, and that is the Euro session. But I do believe we're still okay with, again, London is the most liquid markets of any of the Forex markets. Doesn't mean it trends the nicest. As we've seen of late on gold, it's usually the worst session of the lot to trade gold. Did post a post and a story on TikTok, and appreciate if you guys had a look at it and gave a comment, left a comment. It's a simple one, just asking what you guys feel is the best session to trade gold, whether it be Asian, London, or MY. And just leave a comment if you could. Be much appreciated. Incup has clearly closed above 136 to be bullish again. 136. Just depends what time frame we're talking about here. I would say a little bit above that to actually flip it back bullish in the 15 minutes, to be honest. Mark, so you think gold could drop to 4K again? Look, anything could happen. Anything could happen. I want it to. I would love for it to do it, but that's for a different reason. Michael, g'day to you, was in 41.20 and took profit 41.45. Nice work. Redman, I've just been over it. So 5.5 minutes remaining. And if this candle closes bearish below the support, I'll be looking for sell options on the next M15. Tommy, 5K. Not ready for that, mate. I'm not ready for that. Because that also means silver's just wolf pump. Chase Service, Sydney session. Yeah, which is also into the Asian session. Michael, Asian, yep. But I mean the actual post, guys, if you could have a look Not saying you can do it just now while I'm live, but later on my profile. It's the last post. So yeah, just have a look, leave a comment. Let's get the TikTok algorithm showing my work across the world. That'd be much appreciated. Let's go viral, guys. To mention, I will be doing some different videos as well. Maybe centered around obviously fitness related stuff, nutrition maybe. Also, as I mentioned, I love my colognes, my sprays. I'll give you my honest thoughts. Supposed to have 4 come tomorrow. Blind buys. They're all blind buys through. I've never smelt any of them. And they're TikTok blind buys, so they're not that expensive though. I mean, the 4 together was $270 or something, and it included a free 100ml because it spent over 250. So I'm interested to see how they are. They're supposed to be not dupes, but inspired by us. So basically a dupe, I suppose. But I'll give you my honest opinion of those. Plus some of my favorite niche fragrances, and also some of my favorite brands as well. Do you see BTC dropping to 50k? No idea. I don't trade it. Ben going to trap buyers today? But look, possibly. Mark went it bad too. Short yesterday at 4,090. Still in trade. Forgot to set. Yeah. Can't go doing that, mate. Cannot afford to forget to set a stop loss. No weakness. What is Gold saying? Again, it's at an interesting level, but for me to get involved in a trade, I want either the discount to close below the support here, and I'll look to enter a sell position, or I want the following candle, seeing this candle looks like it's going to close back bearish, to close back strong bullish, engulfing, and then I can look for a potential buy position at London Open. Days Goon 42 or 39.80. Look, if you're asking me, and which you are asking me to choose, then 42 first, I believe, personally. Matt, do you always look both sellers and buyers in each trend? I look, if the trend, and yes, it is bullish in higher time frames, but the way I see it on a minor time frame perspective, we are technically bearish. And also I mean, we've got 4-hour counter probabilities to the downside here as well. The previous 4-hour rejected. I have it even more so once we break low of that previous candle. So there is enough confluence for me to look for some potential sell options. However, I would prefer the buys, to be honest. But when we were in that big strong uptrend, I was only interested in buying it. So if we are really trending and it's trending to the upside, I'm not interested in selling it. Mondays, I tend to trade in line with the strength from the previous weekly, unless, which we did actually have in the current weekly. By the time we came to session open, we had already engulfed that previous weekly candle's high, even into Monday. That's obviously into London session. So I am fluid within the markets. I'm not fixated necessarily on a direction, but I would prefer to trade in line with the actual overall trend and bias, which is still quite bullish in my opinion. All right, weak rejection here on gold. Let's quickly look at a 5-minute. 5's just consolidating. Yeah, gonna likely need to wait to see how we open, well, how the following candle closes into London Open. Hey, what time frame? This is the 15, mate. All right, 35 seconds remaining. Paul, good day to you. Mavic, there was news on the pound. Okay, all good. Some of you are, yeah. I bet you are, mate. I bet you are. I want it to tank. I really do. Oh, wow, this rejection. Let's look at 5 again. Still not above the resistance. I really would have loved for it to close minimum above the bodies of the candles here to the left. But what I do like about it is the fact that we're respecting this level. We've tapped into it multiple times. Strong rejection towards the closure of that candle. I'm going to wait for London Open. That is the safest bet right now. Potential impulse entries above this 15-minute candle's high. The issue is there's no lower wick. So irrespective of whether I believe it's valid or not, I need a lower wick prior to the entry. Order Phil, g'day to you. Hope you're having a blessed evening. Just passing through. All good, man. Hope you're well. Welcome. Oh, it's popping up. Well, briefly. Yeah, no lower wicks, so there's no entry there for me either way. Days Goon, overextended. Wish it retraced when it hit 4100. Yeah, I mean, gold's a different beast that does what it wants to do. I mean, some would say overextended for a long time, but it just continues to move. Every time it pulls back, it tends to pop up even harder. All right, so we're waiting for London Open here. Then the other option could be the IC entry or session open. This engulfs significantly. I could look for a potential interruption entry. So worry about that closer to the closure of this candle. Hey, Double S Multimedia, waiting for your entry. Please find entry today. Right, I will do my best, but again, I gotta stick to my rules. So I'm not just gonna take it for the sake of it. Biddy G? No, not just yet. There's no lower wick in this candle. That's a steadfast rule of mine. I'd say entry, I need a wick in the opposite direction, because look what it's trying to do just now. Trying to actually pull back and create that lower wick. Yeah, not every candle has to have wicks in both directions, but if you look through to the left, I'd hazard to guess some 90+% of candles would have wicks in both directions. So off the back of that probability, I'd rather not take the entry without it. Best time gold Asia market NK at off late. I do believe that is the best time. Yes, I agree with you. So if you could drop your comment in on my post on my profile page, it's the last post just under the pin post. Have a look at that, leave a comment, be much appreciated. So look now guys, we've created that lower wick, so hence the reason why there was no entry for me just there. So if you stuck in drawdown, have taken the entry. Right now, I'm just waiting for London Open. BDG, do I have VIP? Yes, I do have VIP. It's you'll find it under the links in on my profile page, man. All the info's there for everything. I honestly wasn't going to stream today. I actually sent a message into the group VIP that I won't be on stream. I'll jump on later. But so it turned out to be that I actually finished everything up a lot quicker than what I thought. I thought I'd quickly jump on stream and see what's going on. Strong rejection just now, so feeling good about not being trapped into a potential buy there, or because I stuck to my rules. So let's wait and see. We in fact have potential sell for London Open, possibly. Now one issue with the potential sell, and who would like to hazard a guess as to what that might be if in fact this candle ends up closing like so. What do you guys think? Too big? Yep, perfect. Gonna exactly too big a stop loss. So what I would need to do is simply wait for the new candle to open up. So if it does close like so, wait for new candle to open up, pop back up, reject that zone yet again, and as it begins to break, so obviously I'd be looking to enter on a sell stop position. As it breaks below the previous candle, stop loss would have to be placed above the entry candle's high. So that is what I'd be looking at if in fact we do melt. Ink up, when is London open? How to check? It's 7 PM my time, so check Forex Factory. It says it here, so it's a few minutes away. 8 minutes. Renault Renovan de Walt. Renovan de Walt. Apologies for butchering your name. No, Euro, that's Frankfurt Open, but technically today the Euro markets are closed with the bank holiday. London opens in a few minutes.
Justin, so here in Germany there is no public holiday, so
Oh, so it's not all of Europe?
no.
Wow, we are melting.
Seems maybe only some bank holiday in France.
Okay. All right, guys, the next potential option then could also be an IC entry on the 30 here. If we really tank in the next 7 minutes, to be honest, I would really love for it to tap back into that zone, and that is possibly where I could set a limit order. Let's just wait closer to the closure of this candle. Velna, do you see this as a long? Not currently, no. NK is in Asian session. No idea what that is. You'd have to work that out yourself. I'm talking about really from 11 AM my time here until, I mean, it even tends to move later into the afternoon. A lot of people say it doesn't, but you still see some decent moves. I would prefer to trade the first few hours of it though. Wow, so gold up to its tricks close to London yet again. We did the same thing yesterday, popping up and down, tricking people into trades on both sides. We just sat here patiently waiting, didn't take an entry, spared some capital. Let's just wait. We need to wait for the confirmation, guys. We need the closure below if there is to be a sell. Not very strong rejection. Yep. Isaac, DXY, and JPY. I don't even worry about DXY, to be honest. DXY, finally heard someone mention it, and one of the economists I respect, probably one of the most, or if not the most, actually said that he also thinks it's a crock of shit to look at DXY if you're trading gold, because for the most part, over the past 10 years or so, they've both moved bullish. Or past few years, past 2 years or so, they've both moved bullish. Even a longer term, I think he even said the 10 years or so, 20 years, they've both been bullish. So people think they're inversely correlated, maybe sometimes in the short term, but doesn't always reflect that way. Echoing, I have no idea why it does it, guys. Sometimes it does it and then it stops. I apologize. I haven't changed any settings. I've not done a thing, so. Then CP 4095. If it was to be a sell, I would TP 4120. But we are rejecting yet again, guys. So let's see if we flip and close back bullish above, bullish engulfing, then the buys are definitely on the table. Because once again, what we would have done is tapped into a level of liquidity only to respect, reject, pop back above. So to me, I'd be more than keen to look for the buys. The same issue applies as to the downside, the stop loss. It will all come down to waiting for patiently for a lower wick to form and using that as your stop loss. So low win rate, 80% on stream. Be a little bit less altogether. I'd have to guess around that 75. Something around there. Still a bloody good win rate. On stream, it's around that 80. So sometimes off stream, I'm a little bit more... I mean, I'll still stick to my rules, but use a bit more intuition. Again, accepting of the risk. Oh yeah, stop loss was the issue on that one. Well, nice strong rejection M5, yep. So we could possibly be looking at buy. So what I'm doing just now is with just under 4 minutes remaining in the current candle, I'm marking the highest point of the current candle. And that on my broker is 41.32.84. So for a potential entry, 41.33.10. If we in fact do close bullish engulfing here. In case sounding's not good, I have no idea what to do. Test. How's that? Same shit or? Same. Could be a setting on YouTube. What can I? Sorry, on TikTok. How about now? Just randomly switched. Same. Doing an echo check. It says no echo is found. Oh man, no idea guys, I apologize. Everything's good on my end in accordance to TikTok. We've got just over 2 minutes and we need to focus as well on the charts. Rejecting yet again. All right, how about now? Changed another setting. Xenia? Okay. I just changed another setting, so hopefully you can hear me. I'm not sure. All right, we are rejecting. So again, we need to closure. We need that bullish engulfing candle. There's not much I can do without that, guys, because we're still just consolidating essentially at the support. Brandon, shouldn't. Does that mean you guys can hear me or not? I have no idea. TikTok, YouTube, you should have no issues. You guys be able to hear me. KS Multimedia, I told you I will, as long as I have the confirmation. Now the confirmation is closure above this point. If not, we've done nothing yet to suggest that we're ready to head up. Yes, we remain above this support, but closing back bearish yet again. We've wicked to the downside, to the upside, and we continue to reject. 5 minute looks like trash. At the minute, I don't have a solid entry, I'm sorry. How's the corner? Yep, audio is also good. It's always good. YouTube. This is not going to be an entry just yet, guys. It's obviously rejecting. You guys should jump across to YouTube. That's where it's at. You get the full screen. You get the price scale, all that. You get the text, which is attached to these horizontals. So we've closed back bearish. just above the support, guys. Trade a little bit of a lower wick at the open. Once again, I need to wait until the next 15 minutes and just see how we close. We want to close either, again, closing strong bullish, either engulfing or just below the high, or we want to be below that support. Until I have that type of catalyst, there is nothing I can do about it. Oh, socks. Difficult name. I have no idea how to pronounce your name there, but usual risk to reward just depends. I need minimum 1-to-1 target, but normally larger than that. Doesn't mean I wait to secure it 1-to-1. I will secure in between, and I will also manage the trade in drawdown in between. Win rate on stream 80%. RKB, I've heard it's echoing. I understand, guys. I don't know what to do about it. I've tried. It says I don't have an echo. I've checked the audio settings on TikTok. I've tested it. Echo check, and it says I don't have one. So I have no idea what I can do about it. All right, how about now? YouTube, please smash that like button too if you could. All right, we need to patiently wait here. Let's watch gold pump without giving me a confirmation. Oh man, it's gonna do it. What would be any different? Not much I can do, guys, at the minute. I just need to wait. Still echoing, is it?
Sounds fine on the Zoom, mate.
Yeah, YouTube and Zoom's okay. It's just TikTok. Gone in cup. All right, I may have fixed it then. So you're talking about gold, because gold's also gone. Man, oh man. I mean, even off this 5 minute, look at a stop loss based off one 5 minute candle, 60 plus pips. and literally the target is probably not even 30 pips. Yeah, it's the goal. That's what it does, guys. So again, I need to wait for confirmation. I need to tick off boxes. I can't just take it because I think it's going to go up, because that would be reckless of me. And if it did in fact reject, I would be very pissed off at myself for entering based off just what I thought would happen without having the right confirmation. So what it means is, yes, I do miss trades. It means I don't get the right confirmation, but for me it just means it's not my trade. So it's not necessarily a mistrade. It's just not something that's in line with my rules and my plan. Ronzani, you moved over from TikTok. You reckon it's better on YouTube? I believe it's better on YouTube, to be honest. NK, now we can put nice one. Yeah, it was some setting. I didn't realize there was something set. The microphone had some weird setting. Audio effect. Revolt mic hog. I don't even know what that setting is, so I turned that off, and I think it seems to have fixed it. Ben, trapping buyers for my liking. Potentially, but look, if I had the catalyst, let's just say as it broke this candle's high, I would have already secured some profit. It just depends what your targets are, because that has pushed since breaking the high some 33 pips. That would be enough to secure minor profits, some partials on the way up. But yeah, could be still trapping buyers, to be honest. Ronzani, I think it's you have more informative, more information here. Yeah, you can definitely see more on the YouTube stream. KD, what's up with you, Jay? It's not the real KD, is it? Kevin Durant. What's up with it? To me, it's bullish by the looks of it. Is creating some lower highs, lower lows within the current daily candle, which is forming still bullish. It's out of the zone of rejection. I would prefer sell options just purely based off the level it's at, unless we buy it from this level of accumulation. So support to 4 hour. Well, it's not yet a 4 hour support. It could be confirmed shortly. But it's a very strong level. Obviously here to the left, we have consolidated at that level previously. So I'd be looking for price to potentially come back down to it, and yet again form support for potential options, take it back up. However, what I would preference is maybe a pullback sell, just purely because the level it's at. If it does respect, create that equal high, that M formation. Look, yeah, to be honest, I don't think it looks good at all. I don't see anything. Well, Gracing it to you. Yeah, all good, mate. Hope you're well as well. Watching gold do its thing as it normally does, which is pretty much trick people into buy sells all over the shop, and then ends up back to pretty much where we started. That is London session to a T for the past maybe 2 months. September wasn't bad actually when I was on stream, when I was over in Thailand. Wasn't great. Personally, it was trading wise for me, but stream wise, I mean, weren't, for the most part, did consolidate. There is a IC candle here as well, which has not yet been retested. Could come into play. All good, Kenny. Yo Mama, thank you for sharing live. You in Discord? Yes, I do have Discord. Again, you can find out all the information on my profile page, my friend. Peter, good afternoon to you. Good evening. Welcome. All good, Katie. Another miserable Melbourne day. It was raining cats and dogs for the most part and freezing. And it's supposed to be close to summer. I haven't even looked at GJ today. I don't really want to look at it. Yeah, maybe let's not. Back to GU just quickly. I mean, it could be potential options to buy it on the next M30. The entry point for GU would be closures above this 15-minute swing point or consolidation for resistance. So I'd just be adjusting that zone. This is, remember, this is a chart from yesterday, guys. It's not yet confirmed support, but likely to close bullish in 3.5 minutes. Let's quickly look at EU at some resistance. AU slow trickle down, really messy chart. Nasdaq again, chart from yesterday. Yeah, not much. Gold. It's like I'm gonna be paying premiums again on gold. Today's good. You're trying to get into longs and JJ right now. Got a sell for earlier 316. Nice one, mate. Yeah, it looks the same as GU. Yeah, for me the entry point comes above this level. Once again, it's at some pretty solid support. Does in fact reject. You do have some consolidation to the left, so yeah. Peter, what about AU? Try to go sell and took a loss. I'm assuming just there. Yeah, for me there was no entry. AU, to be honest, to the upside it's quite a mess, to be honest. Again, it's similar to GU and EU. That'd be a level. It's at some pretty strong support to the left. I'd want to be above 65.24 for some buy options if it does reject. And the better sell, cleaner sell would come below 65.125 roughly. So there, to me, those are the two levels. Above 65.24 for a buy, below 65.125 for a sell. And that is the move on gold without the confirmation. So there's nothing really that I can see at the minute. Don't have any interruptions. No. That's good. GJ's the swing king. Nice one. Brandon, if I closed in that space, it turned bullish. For me, yes, if it closes above 31 41.38, and it flips back bullish. Oh, it's just below it. Nothing for me at the minute. SB, do you think price will continue bullish if it takes that high? I think there's a good chance that it could, but again, I personally would not have a impulse entry catalyst present. For me to consider it, I need a buy closure above. We'll come down to stop loss. We've already pushed big distance on the first 15 minutes of London Open. Yeah, so it's almost, I mean, you're looking at a $10 move almost just to get to that level. SB, do I think it'll continue bullish if it takes a high? Look, potentially, but again, we've made such a big move in the first 15 minutes. Where the issue is, where's your stop loss? You got to consider that below the current candle is just not wide enough. Douglas D, the 1 hour fair value. I don't trade fair value gaps. What you're talking about here, I'm assuming. I don't trade him though, so I don't know. Are you talking to the upside? I have no idea. SB, no. Looking for a buy from, waiting for a confirmation of this candle, but it's obviously it's confirmed it, but it's made the move within itself, so there is nothing I could do about that. SB, you do SMC. What I look for, I have my price action catalyst, so there's many different types. It all just depends on where we are on the charts and how we approach a certain level. So obvious ones are engulfing candles, liquidity candles. So this kind of resembles a liquidity candle, so is this one. But there's no confirmation because it's not at, well, it's at a level, but it's not really done anything for me away from consolidation to give me the confidence to take an impulse entry. But again, there is many different ways to go about it. We have what we call the interruption candle entry. But again, you just have to watch and you'll pick up on the entry types. For instance, there's an interruption just there. So I know there's a good chance at some point price may tap into that point where could be some possible options to look for buy opportunities. Yeah, there's again different ways I go about it. So we're respecting structure here at the minute on the gold. All right, let's see how this M15 closes. Could we in fact have a sell on the next M15 below this 5-minute support? That is probably the last potential option for this stream. Brandon, do you think volume profile indicators help? Not for me, to be honest. Yeah, I don't use indicators. This one, do use the Asian session range. Only use it to know whereabouts we are within the actual daily candle itself, the Asian range itself. The other one I normally use is the daily candle, so it'll show the daily candle printing to the right hand side here. I don't have that up on the screen at the minute. But volume profile, I know basically that this is liquidity being built up into the market, which then shifts, so that creates these impulse moves, these gladiator or whatever they call them. I call them crypto gladiator candles or whatever they call it. That creates those movements. So these candles have low liquidity. It's what's within the consolidation is what actually creates the liquidity to shift price up or down. So the volume is being built up in amongst all this. What you often find is if you got your volume profile indicator to the side here, you're going to be going crazy around the consolidation areas. And once it pumps, so an area like this, there'd be little volume. So like for instance, this move here, it'd be more like maybe like that. Sort of shit illustration, but you guys get the picture. Reminds me of Mr. Squiggle. So look, indicators aren't shit, but they're just not for me. Looks like we are going to head straight back down here on gold. Unreal. Day's good. Price action all day and look left. Yep, I agree with that. It's what works for me as well. Jack, if indicators worked, everyone will be rich. Yeah, well, it's true. They're all lagging. And again, if you can use them, you know, for your own benefit, there's nothing wrong with it. But for me, it just doesn't help. I'd rather just watch price action. Price action is king. Look at this. Wow. London, look at his 30-minute on the London Open candle now. Look at that rejection. Taps into the 15-minute last significant lower high and is rejecting strong, and we're coming straight back down. It's very, very tricky. It requires impulsive entries, which is not what I do. I do not look, I really don't like taking the riskier option. To be honest, I rather wait for a confirmation, and that requires candle closures. Those goons should be used for confluence. Yeah, that's the only thing I would use it for too. Just to add some confluence, but not as the actual signal in general. SB ain't about if they work or not. It's about if you can use the information that comes with it. Exactly what I said as well. If you can make it of benefit for you, then there is a time and place for it. But for me, I just don't see anything to indicators that will benefit me. What works for me is price action. The candles are my indicators. Been frustrating, guys, not gonna lie. It has been frustrating for the stream because it's really not been easy to find a quality entry. I don't sit on stream for all that long. For the most part, it's about an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45. So that gives me how many candles is that? You're talking about 15-minute candles. That gives me anywhere between maybe 6 to 7, 8 candles max. So has been challenging to find a really quality entry. SB, no, I've not. Literally just got to the charts when I started this stream. I've not looked at the charts at all. Wasn't even going to stream today. Again, I sent a message out to my group that I won't be on. and I managed to get things done that I need to do quicker than anticipated, so I jumped on. Will I have time to look at Asian session tomorrow? I actually might. So Bitcoin up to a bit of a pullback after reaching 107.50. Jack Daniel going for shorts if price breaks 41.23. All right, so below these wicks pretty much, just a tad below it. Beta gold been great during Asian session. It's been a lot better than what it's been during London session. It trends during the Asian session. London session up, down, all over the place. Anything but trending pretty much for the most part. If you were to compare the two sessions for the past, probably this year, and use the ADX, because that actually shows you when a pair is actually trending or not. That's an indicator, but again, it's lagging, but it'll show you, you know, where, you know, was actually in a trending phase as opposed to consolidation. I'm sure that would show Asian session would have been trending a lot more than London session in general. All right, let's see. 30-minute is closing. We're going to close, but it looks like quite strong bullish. Just tricky price action, to say the least. Days Goon, would you say that this trading year has been more choppy than usual? No, not maybe London session, but not really. Gold has made a massive move, and that is the only pair I trade. It's been good, but London session I found has been tricky. Not sure how others have found it, to be honest. I'm sure my guys would have found it a little trickier as well. It is the major session that my group would trade. But I mean, you just got to look at the price to see that gold has actually made some big moves, up some 50-60% on year to date, I think. What I would say is that there's been a lot more volume, so stop loss have had to be wider, so that has meant I've had to lower my lot size quite significantly for the most part, but it's also meant that I've kept a wider target than what I would have maybe last year or, you know, a year or two ago. Now I hold on to my trades a lot longer than what I used to. Alright guys, so the 30 is closing back a weak bullish candle. Yes, it's engulfing, but it's tapped into target. There is absolutely nothing I can see right now. 5 minute, the entry would have to be below that wick. Yeah, to me, there's absolutely stuff all. Or sweet FA, you guys can work that one out. There is nothing at the minute. So what I would wait for, if I was to wait, seeing this candle's closing bearish, the buy options would be simply this. Next M15, this would be my plan. This would be the rule. And if it pumps in the meantime, there is no trade. There'd be no entry for me. And it's just is what it is. The close bullish engulfing above this resistance. What I do like about it is we've triggered in sellers at that level. It's the last significant lower high in 15. It will confirm a structure flip on a closure above that point. That would be my trigger to look for a buy. As far as sells, we need to be below support still, because there's no point selling it back into the support. Selling into a choppy mess, the entry would have to be below that candle. There is nothing to the downside unless it's below that support, personally in my opinion. Or if we in fact create a double top, well, sorry, retest the daily high to reject again, perhaps off the back of that, because as I mentioned before, we are at a very significant higher time frame level. Is in fact a 4-hour and a daily resistance, so I would consider the sells from higher up. One thing to bear in mind, guys, it is a public holiday, bank holiday in US as well, so there may be a lack of liquidity for MI session. So that's probably going to be it for me. I'm not going to trade. There is no point waiting for GJ to rip. I wish you the best of luck, my friend. Quickly look at it. Potentially, I mean, it's looking better. Approaching that entry point for me that I would consider, but it's currently rejecting it. Could be maybe sell options as well. Yeah, but good luck with that. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be from the normal time, so a little bit earlier than today's stream, about 30 minutes or yeah, 30 minutes earlier when I started today. Guys, don't forget to like, follow, do all that stuff. Feel free to send me a message, say good day. I always reply to all messages. And if you want to know more about anything, feel free to ask any questions. Also, don't forget Forextester Online, guys. It is the sponsor, or they help me out. Obviously, it is the best backtesting software in the business, without doubt. Works exactly like TradingView, without, well, very little, no glitches that I found personally. Quality toolkit to test your strategy, has a really unique feature of the analytical tool. It tells you where things you need to improve on your trades, strengths and weaknesses, all the data analytics here, risk and performance metrics. And really cool feature is that you can actually test yourself out on a prop firm challenge. That is unbelievable. That is a really cool feature. So here it is here, prop challenge, and you can adjust the parameters to whatever challenge that it is that you want to, you know, take. So if it's FTMO, you guys know what the parameters are as far as daily drawdown, all that. You can add that here and test yourself out on it before you waste your money on something that you might not necessarily pass. So test yourself out, and if you are interested in that, they do not have monthly subscription, but for my viewers, my loyal viewers, they've opened up a special monthly subscription, which you will not find on their pricing list on their main web page. So if you want to know more about the monthly subscription plus a 10% discount code, feel free to send me a message and I'll happily share that with you. Guys, take care, trade safe. I will be back tomorrow. Until then, have a good one. That site is Forextester Online, but send me a DM. I'll share with you the promo code and the link and all that stuff if you are interested. And also, you'll find it on one of my latest videos. It's the first video, I think it is actually pinned to my profile page. That's also got a link. Not for the monthly subscription though. That's only got for the yearly, the annual, or the lifetime. But if you want the monthly one, send me a DM and I'll happily share it with you. Guys, trade safe. Have a good one. Take care. Bank holiday for the US today. Apps, consider calling it a day. Cheers, mate. Take care. In YouTube, TikTok, appreciate the support. Sorry, guys, just can't find a quality entry at the minute. Till tomorrow. Have a good one, guys. Cheers, team. Bye, guys.